Good day, learners. My name is Michael November. I'm educator from Tabovuyo Secondary School in Ruvel. I'm now going to present for you data handling. The importance of data. Let us now start with working on it. Now, the first question that we ask, what is data? What do you mean when we talk about a data handling? Now, when we talk about data handling, it is where we talk about the measures of central tendency. Those measures of central tendency, they are: 1, the mode. Now, what is a mode? That's very important. You must know what is a mode. Now, a mode, when we talk about a mode, we talk about, let me show you what I'm talking about. When we talk about the mode, okay, we are talking about the mode of a data set is the most common score. That means the number that occurs most. That is the mode. Now we go to the second one, the mean. Now, what is a mean? The mean of a data, the mean of a set of a data is often called the average. That means you add all the sum of the scores and then you divide them by the number of scores. What is important here is the sum. You add the sum and divided by the number of scores. You check how many scores are you having, and then you divide with them. The last one, measure of a tendency, it is a median. Now, the median of a data set is the value of the middle score. That means you are looking for the middle number. That middle number is called a median because it's at the center. Now let's check this example. It is much easier to work with a set of data when it has been arranged in ascending or descending order. Now, here it's a set of our data. It's 8, 6, 9, 12, 3, 7, 5, 2, 7, 4. What must we do first? We rearrange. Now, when we rearrange, let us rearrange from ascending order. Ascending means you start from the smallest to the highest. Now, let's start from the smallest. In our set, we are having 2, and then we are having 3, and then we are having 4, and then we are having 5, and then we are having 6, we are having 7, 8, 9, and the last one is 12. Now, let's check what is the mode on this data set. Remember, we said the mode is the value of item that appears most often. Now, let's repeat the numbers again. It's 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 12. Which number occurs most? That's 7. That means our mode is 7. That 7 is the number that occurs twice. The rest occurs once. Now that means our mode is 7. Let's go to the second one, the mean. The mean. Remember what I said about the mean? I said you add all the sum, all the data, and then you get the sum. And then you divide it by the total number of scores. Here is our score. Our score, it is 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 12. Now what must you do? We add. We write a mean, and then we add 2 plus 3 plus 4 plus 5 plus 6 plus 7 plus 8 plus 9 plus 12. And then that total, you divide it by how much? You divide it by total number of it. How many a day? Let's count how many a day. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. They are 10. Now, when you add all of this, you get 63. Now, when you get 63, is equal to 63 divided by 10. Now it gives us 6,3. That means our mean, it is 6,3. Now let's go to the third one, which is the last one of our central tendency. Now let's check it. The third one we talk about the median. The median, remember, is the center one. The one which is in the middle. That's the value of the data which is in the middle. Now let's check it. We are having 10 sets here. Now, what will be our median? Our median will be the 5th and the 6th term. Let's count them. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The 5th one, it is 6. The 6th one is 7. Because they are 2, remember what you do? You add both of them and then you divide them by 2. That means we are going to say 6 plus 7 divided by 2. 6 plus 7, it gives us 13. Now, 13 divided by 2, it gives you 6,5. Now, that means our median here on this data, it is 6,5. That is what is important. Now, let's check how did they ask us from the examination. Let's check how did they ask us from the examinations. Now, in the exam, they just ask different from the way we ask them in the book. Now, this question, it appears on let me show you here. It is paper 1, November 2009. It was question 3. Now, they gave us the data. They say 52 learners wrote the grade 11 geography examination. The ages in years of a sample of 15 learners, of 15 of these learners are as follows. That is 16, 16, 16, 17, 17, 17, 17, 17, 18, 18, 19, 19, 19, 20, 20. Now, I'm just giving you 2 minutes. Let's check it. What age in this sample is the mode? Remember, we said a mode. We said the mode is the value of item that appears most often. Now, if we have a look on this one, let's check it. It's 16, 16, 16. We're having 3 16s. And how many 17s? 17, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 17s and 2 18s and 3 19s. 120 and 122. If you look at it, it's 1 mark. Now, the question is, what is the mode of this data set? One can say, we said, remember, what is important here, we have to understand the meaning of it. It says the value of item that appears most often. Now, 17, it appears most often. It appears 5 times, whereas 16 appears 3 times, and 18 appears 2 times, 19 3 times. Now, what is the mode? The mode is 17, because it appears 5 times. Do you get the point? That's correct. Now, if you're having any question, please, you can ask the question and I'll be able to answer it. Now, this question, it comes from November 2009. It was question 3 on that question paper. Now, let's check it again where we need a mode, where we need a mode, a median, and a range. The second question, it says, determine the median age of the sample of learner. Now, remember, median. We said the median is the center one. That means we have to look for the center of this data set that we are having. First, we have to know how many data sets are we having. That means we have to count them again and check how many are we having. Let's double check it. Let's count them. It is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Now, to make it simple for me to see the median one for me, what I usually do, I'm starting now. Because remember what I said first. Before you look for the median, we have to rearrange them. Now, luckily here on this set, they just rearrange for us. They rearrange for us. Now, what must we do now? We must start checking whether we are having which one is the middle one, which one is the median. Now, I'm starting from here. That's number 1. Number 2, the last one is 22. And then again 16, again 20, 16. I'm checking now which one is the median. Remember, 19. That's 17. That's 19. That's 17. That's 19. That's 17. That's 19. And then 17. That's 18. How many have we left? Remember, we said a median is the center one. Let's count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Do you see? Now it's 7, 7. We are left with 17. That means our median is 17. That's 1 mark. Remember, if we are busy collecting these 1 marks, at the end, they will make you'll be having more marks. It looks as if it's simple. That is why they give you a mark for it. Now, let's go again. Let's go again and check for ourselves again. Now, this one, if you don't have it, it's a revision book that it was made for learners. You can check it. If you don't have it, just make a point that you get it. It's a mathematical literacy grade 12 revision booklet. This one is designed by Qarib department. And if your school doesn't have it, make a point that you get it because it's good for a revision. Now, we are still on the looking for the median here again. Okay, let's check it. Here is our data. Our data here, it is 5, 10, 9, 7, 11, 8, and 13. Now, let's start by rearranging it. The first number here, it is 5. Here I wrote it. Okay, let me take the black one. The first number here is 5. What will be the second number? That will be 7. The third one will be 9. And then, no. It's 7 and then 8. Sorry, it's 8. And then 9, because here it's 8. And then it will be 10. And then 11. The last one will be 13. Now we check for the median. Remember, what is the median? The median is the center one. Now we are looking for the center. How many data sets are we having? First we have to, that is why I said first we have to rearrange it. It is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Now we are having 7 data. Now we are looking for the median one. The median one is the center one. Now let's check. It's 5. Then I press 13. And then it's 7. It's 11. And then it's 8. It's 10. I'm left with 9. That means 9. It's my median. It's easy for us when we rearrange it. And it's easy for me to cancel so that I can see I didn't left any number. Because if you left one number, now that means you are set, they are no more going to be 7. They are going to be 6. And you are giving 7 numbers. So that means if you check your median, that means your median will be now say 2 numbers. But here, that is why it's important for us always to double check that you wrote your numbers correct. Now, let's go to the other one. The other one, again, you're still looking for the median. We are still looking for the median. Now, let's check it, how to do it, how to calculate that median. The numbers that you are given are, the numbers that you are given here are, okay, numbers that are given are A. No, that's number B. Numbers that are given are 1, 3, 2, 1, 8, 2, 3, 2, 2, 1, and 5. Now, what are we looking for here? We are looking for the median. Remember, what must I do first? Rearrange. That is what is important. Then, now when you rearrange, it is 1, that's this one, and this one, that's 1 and 1, and this one, and 1. And then I'm looking for 2. That's this 2, I'm writing it, and then this 2, I'm writing it, and this 2, I'm writing it, and this 2, I'm writing it. And then it will be 3. It will be this 3, I'm writing it, and this 3, I'm writing it. 3s are now, I'm done with 3s. I'm going to, I don't have 4, that is 5. I don't have 6, I don't have 7, that is the last one, it's 8. Now I have to count how many data I'm having. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Now if I'm having 11, that means number 6 will be my median. Now I'm counting, it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That is 2. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 this side, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 is that side. That means a median. Your left hand side must have equal number and the right hand side must have equal number. Now you are left with the center one. That is why we call it the median. That's the center one. Now let's check the last one. The number that is given, it's 149, 218, 321, 0, 156, 223, 219. That's the last one. Let's start it. It's 149, 149, 218, 321, 0, 156, 223, 219. Now what must I do first? Rearrange them. Now how do we rearrange them? You start from the smallest one, that is an ascending order. The first number is 0. What will be the second one? That's 149. What will be the third one? 156. What will be the fourth one? After 156, which one comes? That's 218. And then after 218, that's 219. After 219, that's 321. Now I'm double checking whether did I wrote all the data. That is important. Let me check. 0, yes, I wrote it. 149, yes. 156, yes. 218, yes. 219, yes. 223, do you see? I left 223. That means I'll be having a wrong data. Now, here it must be 223. And then it will be 321. Do you see the importance of double checking? Because we are human beings, we can make a mistake. You can think that you done it, you wrote it, and then unfortunately you didn't wrote it. And remember, your mistake is killing you because you forfeit that mark. Now, before you do anything, please make a point that you double check. Now, I double checked. I'm happy now. I wrote all the data, said. Now, let's check which one is the median, which one is the center one. Now I'm checking. Let's check first, how many data are we having? It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 again. Do you see? Now we are double checking whether which one is the middle one. It's 1, 2, 3. And then I'm circling this. And I'm saying 1, 2, 3. Do you see now? 218, it is my median. That means 218, it's my center one. Remember now, we said let's double check whether, let's see how did they ask it on the examination. Because the way you taught it, it's not the way they ask it the way in the examination. Now, let's see the questions again on examination. What did they ask us for to do? Remember, I said this one comes from paper 1, November 2009. It was question 3 of it. We done number 1.1. We done 1.2. Now, I'm giving you only 2 minutes to calculate 1.3. Number 1.3 says you calculate the mean age of the sample of the learners. Let me give you also those numbers. Here is the data, the one that we are using. first. 16, 16, you remember? 16, 16, 16. And then 17, 17, 17, 17, 17. And then 18, 18, 19, 19, 19, 3 19s, 20 and 22. Now I'm giving you only 2 minutes. Remember, why I'm giving you 2 minutes? It's 4 marks. Now, always in your exam, remember, the marks determine how many minutes are you going to take it. 1 mark is 30 seconds. We know within 30 seconds we'll be getting it. So 2 marks, it's a minute. That's how we calculate it. That is why you see on your examination, we are not going just writing 2 hours. We take it from our heads. No. That's the way we calculate you how to write it in your marks. Now I'm giving you 2 minutes to write that. Okay. Now let us check. Now, are you correct or not? Remember what I said. I said to you, we are looking for the mean. Now, who can tell me what did I say about the mean? Remember, what is the mean? We said the mean is the sum of all the data divided by the number of items. The sum of all the data divided by the number of items. Now, let us check. Did you get it correct? Let us check. Did you get it correct? Now, we talked about the mean. We are looking for the mean. Remember what's the mean? We add all the numbers. Remember what was our numbers? It was 16, 16, 16. That means it will be 16 plus 16 plus 16 plus 17 plus 17 plus 17 plus 17 plus 17 plus 18 plus 18 plus 19 plus 19 plus 19 plus 20 and plus 22. Now how much you get when you add all of those numbers? You get 268. Now you divide 268 by 15. What does this 15 stand for? Remember, what does that 15 stand for? Number of items. How many items are we having? We are having 15 items. Now it is 268 divided by 15. When you divide 268 by 15, you get 17,86666. Yes. Now remember, what is important here? If you read at the instruction, at the question paper, it says you round off into 2 decimal places unless stated otherwise. Now, in any question that you go through it, even if it's not written, round it off up to how many numbers behind comma. But you must know it must be two digits after comma. Now, let's see. It was 17 comma. Remember, numbers behind comma, we call it individually. We can't say 17 comma 8,666. No. It's wrong. We have to say 17 comma 8666. Now, when we round it off, it will be 17 comma 87. Yes. That means our mode. No, sir. That means our median, our mean. It is 17,87. Now I thought, now I'm thinking, now you know how to calculate a mean, the mode. Now, if you remember what I said about data handling, I said to you, data handling, it's a measure. We are having 3 measures of central tendency. What are those three measures of central tendency? Those 3 of central tendency are the mode, the mean, and the median. Did you see? We all done of all of this. Now we know how to calculate them. And that is very important. That's what must we do? Data handling, we are having only these three first. These three measures of central tendency, which are mode, mean, and the median. Now, let's have a look whereby we are going to see, again, the other tendency, which is the other one without this, excluding this one, of three measures. Remember, it is important again, please, it is important again to master this three tendency, because sometimes a question can ask you, what is the mode? But if you don't know what is the mode, it's not easy for you again to do it, to answer that question. Now, the other one that we are going to talk about is the range. Now we are going to talk about the range. What is a range? What is a range? A range. The range of a data set is the difference between the highest and the lowest score. Remember, the range, we are saying the range of a data is a difference. When I talk about the difference, what comes to your mind? That means you subtract. You are saying the higher score minus the small score or the lowest score. That means a range is equals to higher score minus the lower score. That is important. Lower score. That is what is called it a range. Now, let's check it again to our data that is given. Let's check it to our data which is given, whether we can do it. Let's start with the first one that we done. Let us start with the first one that we have done. Remember, when we are looking for the mode, we are given this data. Now the same data that is given here, we are now looking for the range of it. Now let's double check. Well, let's see what's the range. Remember what we said. We said the higher score, which is our 13. Here the higher score will be 13 minus the lower score, which is 5. Now that means it will be 13 minus 5. What is 13 minus 5? That's 8. That means the range of this data will be 8. I said to you it's a higher value or higher score minus the lower score. Which I said to you again, I said to you the range of data is a difference between the highest and the lowest score. Now, let's take another data. Let's take another data. That is 14, 13, 15, 0. That's 12, 16, and 11. Now let's check it. Now remember, what must you do first? You must first rearrange before you look for the range or for the median. Now we rearrange it. The first number is 0. Now what will be the second one? That's 11. After 11 it will be 12. After 12, 13. After 13, 14. After 14, 15. After 15, 16. Now, let us double check whether did you wrote all the data. We said 0, yes. 11, yes. 12, yes. 13, yes. 14, yes. 15, yes. And 16. Do you see now? Now I can see that I wrote it correctly. Now I can continue now with what I'm supposed to do. I set a range. We are looking for a range. Now what will be our range? What will be our range? It's the highest number or the highest score minus the lowest score. Do you see now it's simple for me to see which one is the highest, which one is the lowest? Which one is the highest? That's 16. Minus, which one is the lowest? 0. Now, it will be 16 minus 0. What is 16 minus 0? That's 16. Now, can you see that? Can you see that? Now we can make it. Can you see that? Now we can do it. We can see what is the range. If we know the meaning of these words, it will be a cheap stuff for us. It will be simple for us to do it. The first thing we have to understand what is needed me to do, what the question wants me to do, or what I'm supposed to do. Let's take the other one. You remember we took that one of 149. Let's repeat it again. That's 149, 218, 321, 0, 156, 223, and the last one is 219. Now let's check them. I said it is 149, 218, 321, 0, 156, 223, and 219. What must I do first? What must I do first? You know, you have to rearrange. Always, you must know you rearrange. Now the first number is 0. Do you see? What will be the first now? After 0 it will be 149, and then 156, and then 218, and then 219, and then 223. You remember last time we left it out. Now we remembered it again. 223, and then the last one, it is 321. Remember, here we are not counting the data. We are not counting the score. We are waiting for the range. What did you say about the range? What did we say about the range? We said the range is the highest value or highest score minus the smallest or the lowest value. Now, our range, always you wrote it. For doing this, you get a mark to show them that you know what you are looking for. That the range is equals to, the highest one is 321 minus, what is the lowest one? What is the lowest one? That's 0. That means it is 321 minus 0, which is equals to 321. Now, it tells me that our range here, it is 321. Now we can do it. We know how to do it. And really, we can do it because we now know what's the meaning of the words range. What's the meaning of the words mode? What's the meaning of the words median? And what's the meaning of the words? We said mode, median, and then the mean. That's three things that we've done up to so far. The fourth one, it was this one of the range. Again, we have to remember, again, this is very important, that you always know what to do. And if you know what to do, really, it will be good for us to answer all the questions. Now, let's see how to take all this information data that is given, and then we plot it on the table. And then this gives us what we call a frequency table. Now, what is a frequency table? Is this a new word to you? No, it's not a new word to you. Frequency, that's frequency table. Now, if you see the words table, that means we have to draw and put it somewhere. The information that is given, you take it and you put it somewhere. That is why we call it a frequency table. A frequency table tells us how often a data sample appears. Now, let's check it. Let's do it according to the information that is given. Now, here is the information that is given. Let's check it. The information that is given to us. It says to us, the following data are marks out of 10 obtained by a group of 30 learners in mathematics sport test. Now, let's check those numbers. It's 5, 6, 4, 8, 5, 1, 2, 9, 5, 5, 2, 3, 3, 4, 8, 7, 9, 2, 8, 1, 5, 4, 6, 10, 9, 6, 7, 6, 5, 6. Remember, we are given that this test, it is out of 10. And how many learners wrote? 30 of them. 30 learners wrote the test. Now, what is important here? We write on our table. Did you see now? I draw a frequency table for the above data. The first column is for the marks. The second one is the tally. The third column is the frequency. Now, let's double check. What is written there? There is 1. I wrote all those numbers. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 8, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Remember, test is out of 10. Now, because this one is a very simple one, I can write it 1 up to 10. Now I'm double checking. How many ones am we having here in this data? Let's check. Here's the first one. Do you see it? Where is the second one? Yeah. Here is the second one. How many ones are we having? We're having 1. It's 2. Now, how did we write it in a tally section? What you write, you make 1, 2 strips. Do you see that? It's 1, 2. Now we go to another one. The 2's now. Let's have a look how many 2's are we having. Let's double check. The first 2 is this one. The second 2 is this one. And then the third 2. We're having, in a tally, we make 1, 2, 3. And then it is 3. Now we go to the 3's. How many 3's are we having? On the front row, nothing. On the second row, it's 1, 2, 3. On the third row, nothing. Do you see? That means we're having 3. That's 1, 2, 3. And then it is 3. Now we go to 4. How many 4's are we having? First row, it's only 1 4. Second row, another 1 4. Third row, another 1 4. Do you see? That's the easiest way, even if you don't rearrange them. Because if I was rearrange them, it will be simple for me. I will just count them 1, 2, 3. Now when I'm making these dots, I'm making sure that I don't left any number. And it will show me also if I have counted them correctly. Now we go to 5's. How many 5's are we having? On the first row, 1, 2, 3. Do you see? 4. Only on the first row we are having 1, 2, 3, 4. We go to row number 2. Second row, nothing. Third row, it's 1. Remember it was 4, 5, 6. Now it's 6. Let's count them. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Now, how do you write it? It's 1, 2, 3, 4. When you go to number 5, 1, you just scratch it, and then it will be, we know this one is 5, and then we start with 6. Well, we put 1 there, it will be 6, and then on the frequency table, on the frequency side, you write 6. Let's check how many 6 are we having. 6. It's 1 on the first row. Second row, nothing. Third row is 2, 3, 4, 5. How many 6 are we having? 5. You remember, what must we do? It's 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 5, 1. The fifth one, you just put it on top of the other 4. And then it will be fifth, and then we write 5 on that side. Now let's check 7's. How many 7's are we having? First row, nothing. Second row, it's 7, 1. And third row, it's 2. That means it's 1, 2. That means we're having 2, 2, 7. Now, we go to 8. How many 8s are we having? It's 1 from the first row, 1 from the first row, and then 2 second row. On the third row, nothing. That means we're having, no, let's double check. I said 1 from the first row, second row is 2. Do you see? It's 2. Third row, nothing. That means it must be 2. And then we go to here, it must be 2, not 3. Now we go to the 9. I said here it's 2. Do you see? You have to double check. It's 2. Now we go to 9. How many 9s are we having? That's all. First row it's 1. Second row 2. Third row is 3. We are having 1 from each row. That means we are having 3 9s. 3. 3. 10s, it's obvious. 10s, we only have 1. We only have 1 10. Now, what is important here? We have to count whether they said it's 30 learners who wrote. Now, let us double check whether are we having that 30 learners. Let's double check. It's 2 plus 3, it's 5. Plus 3, it's 8. Plus 3, it's 11. Plus 6, it's 17. Plus 5, it's 22. Ne? Plus 2 is 24. Plus 2 is 26. Plus 3 is 29. Plus 1 is 30. Now that means my total is 30. Now this total is corresponding with the 30 number of learners who wrote. Do you see now we have taken the information that is given, and that information we draw it on the frequency table. Now, after drawing it on the frequency table, it is whereby we are going to talk about the bar graph, histogram, or a pie chart. That means you take information which is given, and then you put it on graphs. This is very important. When you put it on graphs, that means we are saying you are representing the information on the graph. If you remember, each and every, when you read newspapers after the budget, they just show you on graphs. If they are saying Free State it's having, okay, education is having this amount of money, this amount of billions, that means they can also show that on the bar graph or on the pie chart. But usually they are using a pie chart. That is where you see the information. And you will know that information is correct when you go back and look at the table. The table will give you the correct measures, or you'll know by the table whether it's correct or not. Let us just check what did we do. Remember, what we did done first, we done the mode, we done the mean, we done the median, we done the range, and then after the range, we took the information to the frequency table. Frequency table. Now, after putting it, the information which was given, we put it on the frequency table. It is whereby after that we'll be able to do also the quartiles. After the break, we'll do the quarters. We'll be able to do also the quarters. And on quarters, after break, we'll be talking about Q1, which is the first quartile. It will be the first quartile, Q1, and then we talk about Q2. Q2 will be our median. And then it will be Q3. Now this will be 25th percentile or percentage. Median will be the 50. And then the third quartile will be the 75th. Do you see now? We'll do this after break.